People kill. Animals kill. Animals and people kill for food, or they kill their enemies. People and animals can move around and find something to kill. They can run away from an enemy. They can kill it if it is necessary. Many kinds of animals eat plants. The plants cannot run away from their enemies. Some plants are poisonous. If an animal eats part of the plant, it gets sick or dies. Animals learn to stay away from these plants. There are many kinds of plants that make poison. Most of them grow in the desert or in the tropics. Farmers use many kinds of poison on their farms. Most of these poisons come from petroleum, but petroleum is expensive. Scientists collect poisonous plants and study them. Maybe farmers can use cheap poison from plants instead of expensive poison from petroleum.
Charlie and Ken. We have got a dog, Charlie, and a parrot, Ken. They are good friends. We love them and often smile at them. This is the first funny story about them. 2 months ago, our dog became sad. When we came home late in the evening, it didn't want to go for a walk and it felt tired. We were puzzled. After some days, Dad came home earlier than usual. When he opened the door, he heard the parrot's voice from the living room. "Sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up," cried the parrot to Charlie. The dog did what it was told by Ken. Ken gave commands and looked happy. Dad understood why the dog was so tired at the end of the day. And here's another story. Last week, our mom called the telephone company and asked them to send an engineer to make the internet in our flat. "We'll be at work, but you'll be given the key," she said. "You'll see a big dog and a parrot. I'm sure the dog will sleep. But please, don't make the parrot angry." The next day, the engineer came and began his work. Charlie was sleeping in the living room and didn't look at the man. Ken was crying loudly without pauses. After 2 hours, the man became angry and cried to the parrot, "Don't cry, you silly bird. I'm tired of you." Ken looked at the man and said to Charlie, "Catch him." The dog woke up and ran after the man.
"Mom, come and check this out on TV. I want to get this as a pet."
Is that a tarantula? No way, Brian. You can't have a tarantula for a pet. They're poisonous.
They're not poisonous, and they normally don't bite people unless they are attacked.
How are you going to raise a huge spider like that in the house?
Well, it says here a box or aquarium with air holes in the top will make a good home for them. They also like to hide during the day, so they will need a small flower pot inside the box.
How are you going to feed it, Brian?
Tarantulas eat all kinds of bugs. They love crickets the most, so I can just catch its food in the park.
Okay, Brian, but I better not see that thing running around the house.
What are you reading, Kelly?
Hey, Ryan. I am reading about animal groups for a school assignment.
What do you mean, animal groups?
Well, not all animals are the same. There are actually 6 different animal groups.
What are they?
Birds, fish, insects, mammals, amphibians, and reptiles. They all vary in characteristics and appearances.
Oh, we learned about this in science class, but I don't remember the differences. What are mammals again?
Mammals are animals that have backbones. They are warm-blooded and they breathe through their lungs.
Right. What animals are included in that group?
Dogs, foxes, and elephants are mammals.
Oh, yeah. And what are amphibians?
I don't know. I don't really find any of the other groups interesting, so I only read about mammals.
Animals in this group are cold-blooded, covered with scales, and have fins. They can only live in water and breathe through gills. Tuna and salmon belong to this animal group. 2. Their bodies consist of 3 parts. They have 6 legs and they have feelers that help them to find food. This group includes ants and bees. 3. They don't lay eggs and they feed their babies milk. They are intelligent compared to other groups and they are warm-blooded. Monkeys and bears belong to this group. 4. Some of them have no legs at all. They are cold-blooded and they have dry, scaly skin. Snakes and lizards are found in this group.
Welcome to the National Zoo. Today, we are going to be looking at birds. There are over 1,000 different kinds of birds, and they are all very different. Now, before we go and see them, I would like to tell you something interesting. Not all birds can fly. Even though all birds have wings, there are some that cannot fly. Ostriches, emus, and penguins are some examples of birds that cannot fly. The differences between non-flying birds and flying birds are that non-flying birds have small wing bones and more feathers on their wings. Another interesting thing is that although these birds cannot fly, they have other abilities like swimming and sprinting. Now, let's go and see the emus and penguins. Get in a line, please.
Hey, Kimmy, I heard that you got an A for your assignment. What did you write about?
Hey, Jim. I compared amphibians with reptiles.
Are amphibians animals like frogs and snakes?
Well, snakes are reptiles, not amphibians.
So what's the difference?
Amphibians live in water when they are young, and they live on land when they are older.
What about crocodiles? They live both on land and in water.
Well, reptiles have scales, and amphibians don't.
Ah, I get it. Crocodiles have scales, so they're reptiles.
Yes. What did you write your paper on, Jim?
Well, I wasn't interested in comparing animal groups, so I only wrote about insects.
You only wrote about insects? We were supposed to compare 2 animal groups. What grade did you get?
I got a D. Hi, Beth. What is that big book you're reading?
Hi, Chris. It's a book about all the different kinds of animals found throughout Australia.
Why are you reading it?
It's really fun. These animals are so cute. Let me show you some pictures. Here is a kangaroo. This is a dingo. And that gray one over there is a koala.
Which one is your favorite?
I like koalas. They're the cutest. They spend most of their time in trees and only live in Australia. Which animal do you like the most?
I like kangaroos. I think it is amazing they have pouches for their babies to stay in. I wish I had a pouch. I would hide my valuable stuff there.
You do have a pouch, Chris. It is called a pocket. And you have 2 on your pants.
Oh, yeah. Hey, are kangaroos endangered?
Nope. Actually, there are too many kangaroos in Australia. 1. Pandas live in the mountains and forests of China. They have black patches around their eyes, ears, and body. They mostly eat bamboo, but sometimes they eat other food like honey, fish, and bananas. 2. Dromedary camels are mostly found in Somalia. They have a hump on their back, and they have long eyelashes. They eat all kinds of plants. 3. Chimpanzees live in Central Africa and eat fruits, leaves, and seeds. They have black hair, long arms, and short legs. 4. Anacondas live in the rivers of South America. They eat fish, birds, turtles, and even jaguars. They are around 50 feet long and have dark green skin.
Welcome, everybody, to the California Bear Museum. Today, obviously, I am going to talk to you about bears. Bears are mostly found in North America, but some are also found in South America and Asia. First, let's look at polar bears. They are the most famous bears in North America and are the largest bears of all. They have white fur and are great swimmers. Next, let's look at Andean bears. They live in South America. They have dark brown fur and strong paws to help them climb trees. Finally, let's look at black Asian bears. They live in Asia and are smaller and slimmer than other types of bears. They are also very shy and cautious. Now I will give you a few minutes to look around. Good afternoon, students. Today's class is about animals that live in cold countries. Who knows some animals that live in cold countries? Yes, go ahead, Lisa.
Whales, seals, and penguins live in Antarctica.
Very good. How can they survive in the cold weather?
They have layers of fat and thick skin that protect them from the Arctic climate.
Excellent.
Not only that, there's more. Penguins gather together in large groups and stand next to each other to stay warm.
Very good, Lisa. Animals in cold countries have adapted themselves to the cold weather in order to survive.
Does that mean we will grow thick layers of fat on our body like penguins if we live in Antarctica?
No,
Kathy!